Sorry, people. We live? Okay, what's going on here? What is going on here? We live? Okay, we're live. Sorry about that, people. I honestly lost track of time. I've literally been sitting up here doing research for about 2 or 3 hours. Close to 3 hours. And I do this all the time. All the way up until I actually go live, I'm checking articles and doing my homework. So I know this is an odd time, and I want to do this so I could catch different crowds of people. So that some of the people who usually don't catch the live stream will be able to catch a live stream every now and then. Hope y'all having a safe, clean, germ-free weekend. Enjoying yourself. Mutt-free world. Welcome, Buster, Sibby, Ashar in the building. Okay, and just in case anybody gets harassed, if you would @ me so that I could see it, my name highlighted. If there are any trolls, anyone being harassed, let me know and I'll take care of it. Big shout out to Musa. He's been a member for 3 months. And it is my pleasure. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is my pleasure. This keeps me alive, man. You know, it feels good not to look at YouTube as a source of income, as something I do to pay the bills. It feels best when you have a genuine passion for what you're doing. But I started YouTube back when, there were not many people who saw YouTube as a source of income. And no disrespect to those people, but I see a lot of people, owners of channels, who basically demand, hey, support the channel, leave a donation. No. And this is what scares these professionals, these dog behaviorists. It scares the educated class that we are truly passionate about what we talk about. Like I said, those are the best students. The best students in schools, universities, are the ones who truly love and are interested in the things that they're doing, in the subject matter, whether it be history or science. They are the students who continue to do research and homework even after their assignment is over, just for their own personal pleasure. And see, these professionals, these educated people, they come here and they see that, whoa, these people are dangerous. That's why I can call them out. I can send them emails and invite them to a live stream, and they won't say a word. That is exactly why. So this is a very random live stream, because there are a lot of random things that's been going on. I do these random dog nut videos because there's new content constantly being created because of the things that go on in the world. And it has to be reported on, and I have to stay on top of this stuff. It's pretty crazy. And before I get started, big shout out to Pit Bull Victim Awareness. I am loving the content. I'm loving the content. And I know a lot of these stories are stories that I've covered here years ago. But it's very important to get all of this on the same channel, on one outlet. We need channels like this. We need channels where we got different types of channels now, where there's a whole different format and approach to present the information. We look very powerful right now. right? Let me be clear. And big shout out to RFG. He has been putting in some excellent, excellent work. RFG Chosen One. Y'all find him on Instagram. Y'all follow him wherever you find him. I believe he has a Vimeo. I watched the Vimeo video from him today. RFG, feel free to leave contact information or a link to get to your content. And listen, I'm gonna cover a video here soon. This going to be dealing with some of the new information that he's brought out. People, this dog nuttery is getting out of control. It's getting out of control, people. These dog nuts, they're trying to strengthen their nuttery by the day. They really are. And that goes for the so-called professionals and the nutters themselves. They are constantly trying to find ways to include dogs into human society in social settings. They're looking for new ways, new businesses, new platforms, new everything to include dogs, as well as to remove breed-specific laws that ban pit bulls and bully breeds. These people are lunatics. Let's understand that. No matter how much education they have, these people are absolute lunatics. I don't say that because it sounds funny or whatever. I am dead serious. Let me give you an example. And I've tried to find this woman's contact information. I have not been successful. I found her Facebook. I sent an invitation. I think it's one of those Facebook pages where you have to be a friend in order to see the content that she uploads. But her name is Grace Zakovich. Grace Zakovich. Okay, this is all public information. Grace Zakovich is an MU senior pursuing degrees in journalism, focused on investigative print and digital reporting and economics. Most recently, she has worked at the Columbia Missourian reporting on the state government, public life, and public health and safety beats. Okay, here we have another member of the educated class writing absolute rubbish, publishing absolute nonsense. Missouri lawmakers again look to bans on specific dog breeds. Here you have another area of the country who want to remove and make pit bulls legal. So all these different areas that ban pit bulls in the United States, they are vanishing rapidly. We got to really wake up. Look at this. This issue was about property rights, and that absent a clear threat to people's safety, dogs can't just be taken from their owners. Listen to this. This is that narrative that says, well, the dog has to prove that it's dangerous. We can't just look at it, see a bully breed, and then treat it like a dangerous. In other words, every dog gets at least one free attack on somebody. No matter how consistent dogs are with their attacks, which is around 13,000 per day, they insist on laws like this. Well, it has to prove that it's, in other words, go ahead and attack somebody. If you're deemed to be dangerous, we're going to put the dog up for adoption and just give it to someone else. or require that they get a tall fence. Something stupid. It's just, again, sacrifice. That's the law of a nation that sacrifices its children and elderly. But look at this. It continues. But others argued breed-specific legislation has been proven to increase overall safety in some areas, and that is true. The areas where pit bulls are banned, you see a reduced number of severe attacks. They basically vanish. You don't see the shark-like maulings. This is what these nuts don't like to focus on. You pretty much eliminate the severe disfigurements when you ban bully breeds, and that has to include Rottweilers, right? But it's still a problem because you got German Shepherds and other mutts out there that can do some serious damage. Representative Richard West said the owner of a dog kennel and a police canine officer, he believed the issue was not, listen to this, the issue was not that pit bulls are more apt to bite. It's just what their bite does. In other words, it's the severity of the attack. It's a severe attack. Now look at what Grace Zakovich wrote. Okay? In quotations. You see the quotation marks? This is what Grace Zakovich wrote. Sources differ on whether pit bull bites are more dangerous than some other breeds. This is what this college student wrote. You can see she is accumulating a whole bunch of credentials and experience. Her portfolio is going to be so impressive. Oh, I studied at MU and Columbia, Missouri in reporting. I've done this, I've done that. So I know what I'm talking about. People, on this channel, I've gone over statements from several doctors who were responsible for putting these victims back together. Y'all remember that? Press number 1 if y'all remember that. Press 2 if you don't. If you could, please. I went over testimonies from dozens of doctors that have put many of these people back together. And the doctors said pit bulls, bully breeds, by far cause the most damage. That when a child comes in that has been severely mutilated, it's certain it was a bully breed. So what other source is she depending on? She said sources differ on whether pit bull bites are more dangerous than some other breeds. Okay, name your source, Grace. Exactly what source of information are you using? You clearly are not using the reports from the actual doctors that put these people back together. What more reliable source could you possibly get than the doctors themselves? Look at how incompetent our so-called professionals are, man. And I see some number 2s in here. Boy, oh boy. You see if I can pull this up. Oh man. And as we all know, the list is quite lengthy. And there was actually, is there a blog? I think there's a blog. Because this is important. This is very, very important. And we need to always be mindful of this. There are certain facts there are certain facts that we have to always keep close in mind. Things that we can refer to on a dime in a moment's notice. Here, let me share my screen here. And actually, the actual list is much longer than this. Let me share my screen. I'm going to just go over this briefly. Okay, and then we'll get back to the presentation. Okay, pediatricians who have spoken out against pit bulls. Okay, Dr. Bilmer, a professor, he said he recently gave a talk. He said he watched a child bleed to death one night on our operating room because a pit bull had torn his throat out. These are the types of testimonies, people, that have came from doctors. Doctors. I'm going to include these statements in my book, and I wish I could afford and have the know-how to make a documentary. We need a documentary. Very, very bad. And it's going to be a breakthrough documentary. Said he had to rebuild the skull of a child who had his ears and entire scalp torn off. And here is another doctor. Dr. Laura. You got multiple doctors. And this is actually only a portion. I'm going to find the list that I shared on a previous video, and I'll share it in the community section. But people, there are dozens of doctors who have spoken out against pit bull. Now, the doctors, this is my point, the doctors say that pit bulls cause more damage. They ripped the flesh from the bone. The victims look like victims of shark attacks. What other source is she using that's more reliable than the actual doctors who put the kids back together? How can you? No, you should not be able to get away with this. To print something, to misinformation like this to the public. We watching you. All of you journalists out there. I know if you journalists follow this channel, we watching you. You're gonna discredit yourself putting out nonsense like this. An effective solution, it says, to address dog attacks, advocates argued, isn't breed-specific legislation. It's more targeted, vicious dog legislation. In other words, the dog has to prove, it has to first prove that it's dangerous. And dogs prove that on a daily basis. You don't need to wait until because you don't know which ones are going to attack. But one thing that dogs have established is that a great percentage of them are going to attack at some point during their life. And I would say over half of dogs, almost all dogs, bite at some point during their own lifespan. She's going to write some nonsense like this. Looking at, it continues, looking at only one type of dog, supporters said, ignores the broader issue of aggression in many types of dogs. Look, I don't care about the broader issue. I don't care about none of that philosophical nonsense that you are talking. These are mutated, bloodthirsty predators that will attack. There's no if. They will attack. There are no days in this country where none of these things attack anyone. Again, we're talking about 13,000 dog attacks every single day. It says, instead of continuously wasting our finite resources without clear and convincing evidence, that we are improving the safety of our neighborhoods, we should enact an effective animal management strategies that center around basic laws and apply consistently to all dog owners. What does that mean? Effective animal, it really, of course, dog. We don't have to manage any animal on this planet, only the mutant dogs. Told y'all they use dog and animals, they're synonymous with each other. Always assume they're talking about dogs. They say or use the word animal in order to avoid using dog multiple times, because then people would automatically, without thinking about it, associate dogs with danger, with attacks, and that's what we should do. See how manipulative this is? It's down to the psychology. They deal with psychology. Now, hats off to whoever this is who left this comment. Said, moronic. Unless you want to see more pets and babies shredded to death by pit bulls. They kill more people than, and who, I don't care about dogs. They kill more people than all other types of dogs combined. This is fact. This makes sense, as they were bred for blood sports like bull baiting and dog fighting. But sure, let's all pretend pits are just misunderstood babies and great family pets, even though the statistics say otherwise. People, this is lunacy. This is lunacy at the highest level right here. And if you're going to impose effective dog management strategies that center around basic laws, those basic laws should involve or include child endangerment laws. Because those laws that are already on the book is enough to deem dogs as unacceptable, as a major safety hazard, child safety hazard. And the only thing required to produce that hazard is for the dog to be present. Doesn't matter if it's on a leash or none of that. It can manipulate barriers. Nothing like that belongs in society. No, I don't think you want to deal with basic laws, Grace Zakovich. Okay, but even aside from that, there is no effective dog management strategies. What are you talking about? Training one of these mutts? Here we go with the effective training. You're gonna look up some videos on YouTube of Caesar. Is that's your solution here? Effective dog management? What is this? This supposed to be some type of educated talk you're hitting us with? I'm disappointed with the professional class, the educated, so-called educated class. And shout out to everybody who's been sending me emails. I spent about an hour or more just going over the emails, looking further into it. I mean, just checking my emails is an assignment. Joseph Lopez sent me something. Everybody, shout out to everybody who send me emails. Now let's take a look at something. Let me show y'all something here that somebody sent me in an email. And shout out to you. I think it's Vasectomy Fail. Or Worthless Mutts. I know Worthless Mutts is working hard over there on his channel. Yeah, he is in his zone. And that's what I like to see. Get into your own zone. And that's when you do your best work. Here, let me share my screen. 1.3 seconds to associate. Okay. Okay, where are we at? Okay. Let me share my screen here. Let's see what she is talking about. She hitting us with this rubbish. Check this out. 1.3 seconds to associate cause of that.
So if I'm discussing something with the dog, he only can't assume that I'm discussing what we're doing right at this moment. You know? Nope. What the hell, yeah. Right? I love that.
People, this is a dog trainer. And he calls himself, he's sitting there dropping knowledge. He's dropping knowledge, dog nut knowledge on these people. You know, these people walk around with their chest out, nose up in the air, and they think they know dogs, and they're such a professional. Huh? Pay attention to what he's saying.
1.3 seconds to associate calls with that. So I'm discussing something with the dog. He only can't assume that I'm discussing what we're doing right at this moment.
He said that dogs can only assume that he's discussing something with the dog right at this moment, because dogs have a short memory span. They live in the moment. We talked about that. But that statement suggests that the dog knows what a discussion is. A mutt don't know what you're talking about, don't understand language. What are you talking about? Don't know mutt. They're not aware of language. Stop it. If they were that conscious of language, they'd be able to speak it. This mutt just hears sounds, just like the barking that comes out of their mouth.
He only can't assume that I'm discussing what we're doing right at this moment. You know? Nope. What the hell, yeah. Right? I love that. Yeah, and that's a matter of loosening the leash. People think, oh, well, my dog's dangerous. He likes to chase the cars and everything. I should tighten the leash and not let him start. It's like, no, you should let him start. Tell him to stop. When he doesn't stop, let there be a consequence. Conversely, you tell him to stop, and he stops, there's no consequence. So he gets to decide whether he gets corrected. And it's not whether I'm in a good mood or a bad mood that day. Yeah. It's, I'm just going to warn you again, and I'm just going to hold on to the leash. That's it. And
do you think there ever will be a time where I can come out here and he walk with me without having to lead?
Oh, did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear what the owner asked? He said, will there ever be a time when I can walk my dog and the dog doesn't have to lead or have the dog on a lead? Okay? Now, if the dog walks in front of you, the dog feels like the alpha, according to them, according to the dog behaviorists. Now watch this.
Without having to lead and everything.
Well, come on. Nope.
Look at that fit of rage for absolutely no reason. But you notice the dog wanted to walk in front of him. Did y'all see that? Look.
Well, come on.
See how it ran in front of him? According to them, that's alpha behavior. So in other words, that dog does that with the owners. And when this dog attacked, you heard the owners say, that's what we deal with. Right?
Nope.
You see that? You see that? The dog made sure to be in the lead. You see that? These are the type of dogs that live in the majority of these people's homes. Now watch this. As soon as he said nope and turned around, once the dog turned around, now the dog is behind him. Right? Now the man is in front, being the alpha. So what does the dog do? The dog challenges him for status. Dogs will attack simply because you walk in front of them. And these people want to argue with us and tell us that these things belong inside of homes with families and to be treated like a human 2-year-old child. These things have no place in society. Look at that angry, listen to that angry demonic beast. That demonic devil on earth. Angry, in a rage for what? Of all animals, no other animal does this. You don't see deer acting like this. You don't see wolves acting like this. You don't see no other animal with this type of rage. Like dogs. And y'all telling me these are the most pampered? This is a backwards culture. That's backwards. And keep in mind, satanic worship involves doing things backwards. Adolf Hitler turned the sun symbol, which was what is that? I was about to say a cross. What's the Hitler's cross name? Swastika. He turned it backwards. It was originally a symbol of the sun. Hitler flipped it backwards and put it at a 40-degree angle to represent the opposite of life, which is considered the sun, the opposite of nature. Everything, there's so many things in this culture that's backwards. This is one of them. And this is a major one. This was the most overt, because these things are mutilating kids, usually.
I got a little anxious for you, not for him.
That's fine. Good boy.
And that's what we deal with.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hear that? She said, they both said that's what we deal with. So that mutt. And these are the same people who will invite you inside of their home, who will tell you, come on in. It doesn't bite. It's friendly. Oh, its tail is wagging. They will hit you with this brain dead dog nut rhetoric and get you killed or mutilated. This is why you have to stay away from these people's homes. Stay away from them, period. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. It's these same people who put a vest on these things and bring them into a store. No regulation. Even if, no matter how much you train a dog, it's never safe. But they are at their most dangerous when they are in the hands of owners like this.
How he just randomly just... That was fun. Are you okay? Oh, yeah. Okay. That's a good boy. And this is what I'm talking about. He will be just fine. You need to grab the lead or you not? No. Okay. And I'll leave.
This dude is scared. He's terrified. He's terrified right now. And this is supposed to be a dog trainer. So if the dog trainer can't avoid being attacked, who are we supposed to depend on? Do you have any other experts seeing that the dog trainers are failures. I can't think of any this is a dog behaviorist right here, and they get attacked in the comment section. This is on Worthless Mutt's channel. In the comment section, somebody said, all dog trainers have experienced this. He handled it well. Kudos to the trainer. All dog trainers have experienced this. And Chef said, it speaks in favor of the fact that there is no training instincts out of dogs if experts themselves can't train aggression out of dogs. And he's making excuses for being attacked. Clearly delusional. Now let's finish this video.
I wanted to come forward and grab him to help you, but I was like, I got to back off.
No, what you did was right. And I'm glad I got the opportunity to do that. I'm glad I got the opportunity to see that because when you move a little bit too fast, and when you move a little bit too fast, you get into bad situations.
Yeah.
This guy is terrified. Dude, don't tell me that it's acceptable to have creatures who can send a grown, large man into this state of terror. Don't try to tell me these things belong in homes with families around kids and babies. Stop it. Who want to make that argument? Which one of you want to make that argument?
And then we have to have these conversations. This is the same kind of thing that happened with the Malinois. In the crotch area. I gave him a little too much extra space, and then he said no. Same thing that happened with this bite in my arm right here. It was like 3 weeks ago. Is I gave a little bit too much extra space, and I didn't realize exactly.
So you hear him making excuses for the dog. Oh, I gave him too much space. So dog attack you because you give it too much space. Did I tell you everything? So he's making excuses for this mutt. And you can clearly hear in his voice that he's terrified. He can't even speak clearly right now. His heart is racing so much. He's absolutely terrified right now. And these people will give a 4-year-old the leash and leave children in control of these things. How reckless is that?
Where the problem was.
See, I wanted you to see it, but I didn't really want you to be.
I wanted him to lose this so that he could figure out that I have the capacity to make this okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to hurt you. Walk. And then off we go.
So he just wasn't quite ready.
Slide it out. But then we don't know. See how much he is?
Yeah, I see that. He said, oh, well, now it's done. It's over with. See, he's okay now.
But then we don't know.
Yeah, but then we're done with it. We're done with it. That could have been a child's life. That could have been a moment where that dog was alone with a child. And that happens all the time. So, to this expert who wrote this article, is that the type of effective dog management you're talking about? Here where the people in charge of transforming their behavior are getting attacked. They're getting attacked as well. If they don't know what to do to avoid being attacked, we can't rely on anyone in society. And that's why dogs should be exterminated. They have no rightful place on this planet. You're dog nuts. You'll never get around that. I will argue that with anyone. Again, we're not going to waste resources by keeping them in stupid kennels. Can't set them free. They can't be in our house. They can't be in our society, our communities. They are a major safety hazard, and they are equally a health hazard. They have no place on this planet. They are toxic to the very planet itself and every living organism on the planet. Dogs destroy and kill not only living organisms, all living organisms, even grass, plant life, soil. They destroy the air we breathe. They destroy the air. They destroy the water. Do you know how serious that is? And y'all want to play games with these nasty mutts? Let me show y'all something else. Let me show y'all something else before we move on. Let me share my screen here. This is crazy, people. I want to show y'all how truly, genuinely crazy these people are, and genuinely nasty. And that's what I really need them to check. This nasty lifestyle where you want to live like an animal, where you literally live life like a dog, and you don't even acknowledge it. You refuse to acknowledge it. Instead, you tell yourself that it's normal. Oh, it's something natural to do. Check this out. Shout out to Pitbull Victim Awareness. This was uploaded on their channel yesterday, really today. Okay, check this out.
We're back with an update on last week's deadly mauling in Virginia Beach. The victim, a woman in her 90s.
Tonight we're hearing from a woman who believes that she owned the same dog for a brief time before sending it back. 10 on your side's Erin Kelly learned that she had concerns about the animal.
She told me at first everything.
Do y'all see that? How they slid in the word animal just like they do in the written articles? They started off specifically saying dog. Listen.
Back with an update on last week's deadly mauling in Virginia Beach. The victim, a woman in her 90s.
Tonight we're hearing from a woman who believes that she owned the same dog for a brief time before sending it back.
Okay. I know there was a slight echo there. I hope you were able to hear that. But this lady, they said so far, they have said the word dog once.
10 on your side's Erin Kelly learned that she had concerns about the animal.
She told me at first.
Then they had to come right back and say animal. Any and every opportunity they get, they want to use the word animal instead of dog. That's psychological. It's like proof they're trying to brainwash the general public. Y'all got to wake up and snap out of this. I don't know whose decision it was to cast these spells on the population, but that is exactly what this is.
Everything seemed fine. The dog slept in her bed the first night, but then she noticed
The dog slept in her bed the first night.
behavioral problems.
He's a beautiful dog.
Tia Walk says she saw the ad on Craigslist. Dogs available for $20 from Forever Home Rehabilitation Center in Virginia Beach. She went there, took a pit bull named Blue for a walk, then decided to adopt him. He arrived at her home in late April.
He slept that night in bed with me, no problem.
But the next day, Walk says she started noticing behavioral issues. Blue wouldn't obey her.
My nephew stepped back, and then just a second after that, he jumped him. And so I had the leash, and I was yanking and pulling as hard as I could to get the dog off.
She says the dog left this small mark.
This is where they bit, where he grabbed them.
In a text message she showed us, Walk wrote she was not going to be able to keep Blue. I can't control him and he's scaring me now, she says she told FHRC. Blue was out of her home after just 2 days. Then, Walk says she learned of a deadly attack last week on a 90-year-old woman on Bunker Hill Lane. The victim's daughter says they had also seen a Craigslist ad and adopted the 1-year-old pit bull hours before. According to FHRC, the dog was named Blue.
I was like, can you believe that the lady that passed away from the dog attack was Blue, the dog I had adopted?
She says she's sorry it happened, and now she's more cautious around dogs.
In the middle of an aggression, I couldn't get him to do anything. I'm just yanking and yanking. I didn't know if he was going to turn on me, but I would have rather have been me than my nephew.
And we went by Forever Home Rehabilitation Center to see if they would respond to what Walk told us. They said they have no comment. But in a prior statement, they said they are devastated for the victim's family, that Blue passed a 3-month training program and never showed aggression at the facility.
There you go. He passed a 3-month training program. I want you to soak that in. Grace Zakovich. All you journalists, all you dog, I want y'all to soak that in. Train this mutt for 3 months and it's still this dangerous? And you want to talk about effective dog management program? They want to throw in some smart sounding little reply there. Look, y'all can't just hit us with this jargon, this educated talk, and expect us to swallow it. This dog management strategies, some mysterious method of training dogs that nobody knows about. Clearly, not even the trainers know about it. These people train this mutt for 3 months. No signs of aggression. So what program or management strategies are you talking about? Where are these sacred strategies that exist somewhere? Is it being guarded by monks and all? Is it kept on some old sacred scroll? These management strategies? This is disappointing, man. This is the educated class. You are the one that people go to for the facts and advice. And this is what you give us? Unbelievable. People, this unbelievable. There was another article surfaced not long ago. January 28th. Horror. As child and dog were viciously attacked by another dog. Okay. So a child and a dog was attacked. How many of y'all seen this story? People, this Dog Nuttery is insane. It is absolutely insane. Yes, why is she sleeping? This is what I want to highlight on this stream, is how crazy these people are. You adopt an adult pit bull and you sleep with it in your bed the first night? Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? Just to bring it into the house is bad enough. You brought it in your bed and you went to sleep next to it. You went to sleep next to an adult pit bull that you adopted that day. Are you out of your mind? People, this is, I can't wrap my head around this. I've been researching these people, these dog nuts, for years. For years. I still can't wrap my head around this behavior, people. I can't. Wow. Wow. So, after I saw that article, I was already heated. And I constructed this slide in the same way I encountered these dog nut articles. It's absolute nuttery, people. This article is about a child and a dog that was attacked. The mother tried to stand between the dog and the child, but the dog jumped up, started attacking 12-year-old girl. A 12-year-old girl got attacked. The pit bull was relentless. But when you scroll down the article, all you see is photos of the dog. You got these photos right here. There's no photo of the child at all. They made the article all about the dog, even though a 12-year-old girl was attacked. It was a pit bull. A pit bull. And the only thing they care about, this surfaced 2 days ago. The only thing they cared about actually showing an image of, because the image is meant to trigger emotions. And in a story where a 12-year-old girl was attacked, they want to trigger your emotions for the dog. Isn't this crazy? This is Dog Nuttery on fentanyl. This is scary stuff. Now, I've shared many articles like this, but when you look at how consistent they are, you know something's going on. You know that there's some type of machine behind this brainwashery. That is absolutely disgusting. Yeah, that's absolutely disgusting. Oh, this was a strange moment while I was doing research, because I just got hit with nuttery after nuttery after nuttery. This lunatic is offering a Corvette. If someone walked, look, Georgia Family offers cash, Corvette for dog missing in Hilton Head. If someone walked up to me right now and they had the dog and said, I'll give you the dog if I can have the car, I would walk away happy with my dog. He says, I'm offering my 2016 Corvette Stingray. This is an image of a Corvette, 2016 Corvette Stingray. He's willing to give you this if you find his dog. These people are insane. There's no other way to put it. There's no other way to put it. You're going to give them your car. Just absolute nuttery. It's like they compete with each other to see who can be the most bananas and obsessed. Who will do the most for a dog? Who will do the most with a dog? A lot of this is sexual. A lot of this is sexual. That's why they have him kissing the dog in a very intimate, sexual way. You will not accept walking in on your boyfriend kissing another woman like this. That would be cheating. There's no discussion to be had. So why give these people a pass? This is intimacy. This is bestiality. Almost all of these dog nutters engage in bestiality. Okay? And I mean literally. But a good deal of them, They're all engaged in this, in my opinion. Let me show y'all something else here before we move on. People, this nuttery, wow. I cannot put it into words. I cannot put it into words, people. I want y'all to look at how nasty.
It's getting worse.
Sorry about that. I want y'all to look at how nasty.
Fuel prices climbing. Democrats spending.
Look at how nasty these people are. This is horrible. How many of y'all seen this? It was uploaded January 25th. This month. 5 days ago. Check this out.
What is this thing? Is it a dog, a coyote, a wolf, something in between? No one is quite sure.
The mystery began when Christina Eith found the animal hiding under her porch in Fairfield Township, Pennsylvania. How did the animal react to you?
He was a little scared, but he never showed any signs of aggression, so that's why I kind of leaned towards dog, even though I saw the features of a coyote.
Good-hearted Christina. What is this thing? Is it a dog, a coyote, a wolf, something in between? No one is quite sure. The mystery began when Christina Eith found the animal hiding under her porch in Fairfield Township, Pennsylvania. How did the animal react to you?
He was a little scared, but he never showed any signs of aggression, so that's why I kind of leaned towards dog, even though I saw the features of a coyote.
Good-hearted Christina did something a lot of other people wouldn't do in her situation. She took the strange and unidentifiable creature into her house to keep it warm.
I just felt so bad. It looked so bad out of shape. It looked so...
People, can y'all hear me? This woman found this thing outside, and she brought it into her home. Talking about it looked bent out of shape. They don't even think disease, parasites, germs, bacteria. It doesn't even run through their head. That's nasty. That's primitive. When you show no regard for your health, the environment inside your home, where you'll bring in stray mutants. Do you know how unhygienic that is? Do you know how nasty that is? Nasty. In case y'all not aware, you dog nuts, in case you're not aware, that's disgusting. And it's dangerous. It's so disgusting, it's dangerous. You know, there's an effect. Being disgusting, doing disgusting things. It can't just be looked at as immoral to be disgusting. I'm not asking you to clean up your act so that I can enjoy seeing you not being disgusting or being clean. No, I don't care about you that much. My problem is that you dog nuts, you bring diseases into the human family. You become infected with whatever these mutants carry, and then you have the total disregard. You go kiss people, hug people, have sex with people, and you share all the disgustingness. People almost, listen. Virtually all dog owners contract parasites from their dog. That licking every day. And those parasites live inside these people's body, in their intestines. They can crawl out of your eyeball, out of your vagina. So when you have intercourse with a dog nut, they simply pass all those parasites right on to you. And these things will crawl under the sheets from one person to another. You're sharing, exchanging bodily fluids. You're going to catch them. And the worms these dogs have, these dog nutters are going to catch them. And y'all saw that lady yesterday who let a stray dog lick her in the face and she kissed it. These people don't make sure that these things are dewormed and none of that. And I don't believe you can completely deworm a mutt. Shout out to Mutt Free World, who has been a member for 2 months. Shout out to Ashar in the super chat. Thank you. Where's the troll? Here, let me wrench. Press 1 if you don't mind a wrench. That way I can go on with the presentation and you can all get rid of trolls. Who's the troll? Where's the troll? What is the troll's name? Okay. All right. If you get his name, just let me know. So, this is nasty. This lifestyle is unacceptable, especially in this COVID era. You have some nerve in this COVID era doing something like this, finding a mutant you don't even know what it is, that looks like this, looks disease-ridden, and you bring it in the house talking about it looked like it was in bad shape. What did she say? Let's listen to this jargon.
The only thing I can think about is that when I wanted to get it
To keep it warm.
I just felt so bad. It looked so bent out of shape. It looked so scared and cold. The only thing I could think about is that I wanted to get it inside and warm.
The creature is now with a local animal shelter, which is conducting DNA tests to determine what species it is. We showed the video to Dr. Timna Lee of Tribeca Soho Animal Hospital in Manhattan.
What I was noticing is that the ears were kind of more, angular. They kind of were down. Instead of a dog, when they're maybe more scared, they pin their ears back.
So what does she think it is?
I do think, just purely based on anatomy from video, I think it's more of a coyote than a dog.
For now, we'll just call this creature the Thing.
Unacceptable, nasty, disgusting, dangerous. This has to stop. These nasty, intimate sexual relationships with dogs has to stop. This nuttery has to stop. It is completely out of control. Now, like I said, I put this in order as I found these articles, and it was unbelievable. I felt blue. That's why I use this blue background to share my emotional state. It's like, what is going on here? Supreme Court sides with trailer court in pit bull attack. I mean, this is really icing on the cake. South Dakota Supreme Court ruled a Yankton trailer court owner is not liable for injuries to a child who was attacked by one of his tenants' dog. So a child was attacked. They were in this trailer court. They lived in this trailer court, and the child was attacked. The Guardian, she brought a case. She appealed a case. She brought on behalf of herself as the guardian for the boy. The boy, known as KB, they don't want to use his real name, was retrieving a basketball within the radius of the pit bull's leash. Now let me highlight that. Retrieving a basketball within the radius of the pit bull's leash. when the dog bit the child's face. Again, kids are usually bit on the head, face, and neck area. These things try to kill kids. Virtually every single. They are child predators. Court documents say a number of surgeries were needed to correct the damage. Bergie, the lady, the guardian, alleged that East Winds in Blackburn, the trailer court, the landlord, had a duty as a landlord to protect the child from the attack or to warn him of the dog's potential for violence. So she feels like the landlord, the trailer court, had a responsibility to keep people safe. Now, how could they do that without removing the dog completely from society, from the court? It was on a leash. He just got too close. Now, can we go around and attack dogs for getting too close to us? Even if you're a stranger, you walk through the door, they're going to walk right up to you and stuff their face in your crotch. Can we launch an all-out attack on a dog that does that? But it's acceptable for dogs too. Now, this story gets worse. She further alleged East Winds knew of the dog's dangerous tendencies. That, according to her, in turn, East Winds failed to exercise reasonable care by not removing the dog from the premises or terminating the dog owner's lease, right? Forcing the guy to get out of the trailer court because, hey, you got a dangerous dog, you got to go. Or you got to get rid of the dog. That is what she is saying. Do you know the courts sided with the trailer court? East Winds moved for summary judgment on all of her claims, which the circuit court granted. So he just threw it out. No trial. There's no way she can win. She doesn't have a case. Get it out of here. The Supreme Court concluded that East Winds, the trailer court, owed no legal duty to the child, because the child was present on the dog owner's property outside of a common area, and in any event, East Winds had no knowledge of the dog's temperament. I could not believe this. This was definitely a loss for us. This is a loss for all society. Nothing. Because the boy was on the dog owner's property. People, this is a trailer court. These are actual photos that I Googled of the trailer court. Houses are right next to each other. People, here, let me see. Can y'all see this? Y'all see that? Look at how close these homes are. The boy loses a basketball. He's playing with a basketball. He loses it. And the basketball is near the dog. He goes near the dog. He's on their property. The dog attacks him. They're saying the dog is innocent. He had a right to attack the child because the child was on his property. The dog has done what it's supposed to do. The freedom these things have to attack, even kids, is unbelievable. So is this what's supposed to happen in a society? We're supposed to have creatures that will attack a child for no reason if they get too close to the property. If you want some type of home security, get bars on the window. Get a house alarm. Because innocent victims who don't have any intent on harming the dog, they shouldn't be attacked, period. There's no discussion about that. People who have no, and if dogs evolved around us and they know us so well, why don't they know when people don't mean them any harm? Why can't they sense when someone does not mean them any harm? It's because they attack you when they know that you don't mean any harm. They don't attack you when they feel threatened. That's why they almost always attack only kids and the elderly. They attack vulnerable victims. They target the weak, the small. You want to tell us that these things belong in society? No. And this is insane. I cannot believe these dog nuts got off on this. Summary judgment is a way for one party to win their case without a trial. Unbelievable. This is unbelievable. So, that's a reminder. Don't go to these people's home. If you're on their property and their dog attacks you, nothing is going to happen to that dog. We've seen this happen before. Y'all remember a child was attacked in someone else's home. And said all the dog was doing was supposed to do. House guests are not supposed to be attacked. Kids retrieving a basketball is not supposed to be attacked. That's the whole point of being human. Is to understand who is and who is not a threat. We don't go around like wild animals attacking any and everything simply if it gets close enough to attack. No, we're not being human beings if we accept wild animal behavior like that. And this is worse than wild animal behavior. Wild animals don't attack us like this. This is a unique type of aggression that only comes from one creature, and that's dogs. And they by far cause the most damage and deaths every year, every day. And we just let these things off the hook like this? This is insane. It was unbelievable. I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. I mean, story after story after story of absolute nuttery. It's unbelievable. So yeah, check out that story if you have time. It is crazy. It surfaced 2 days ago, January 28th, or a day ago. Unbelievable. Well, the boy was on his property, so hey, the dog had the right. No, it does not. We're not wild animals. Stop living like dogs. Living like wild animals. Why aren't you ashamed? Why aren't you dog nuts ashamed to live like a nasty animal? And dogs, they're not animals. They're not as clean. They're not as smart. They're not as peaceful. They're not animals. Y'all gonna stop calling these nasty mutants animals. These are things. Mutants. They're the worst type of living organism in existence. By definition, this is fact. Unbelievable. Hey, the nuttery is strong. How many of y'all saw this? Surface 2 days ago, January 28th. Would you spend $50,000 to clone your dog? They're cloning more and more dogs every year. These dog nuts are spending $50,000 to clone a dog. Can you believe that? $35,000 to clone a cat. You can guarantee they're almost all of them are cloning dogs. These dog nuts are getting their dogs cloned. A clone mutt? As if it being a mutant ain't bad enough. What in the world? Yeah. Rats. All animals. For the most part, they mind their business. Dogs seek us out. They seek out primarily our kids and babies to attack us. No other reason than to attack us. This is crazy. This also surfaced a couple days ago. A new Kentucky bill. Dogs be allowed inside of restaurants. It would amend the United States Food Code and allow businesses to apply for a designation as a dog-friendly establishment. See, right now, dogs are allowed in those some of those patio restaurants, but not inside the restaurant, because dogs contaminate the air, especially when they shake. They're going to allow that inside a restaurant. Y'all remember I showed those videos of dogs shaking, and under the right light, you can see the dander go airborne. Think of how much microscopic dander goes airborne when they do that. Disgusting. I told you people, this is the type of nuttery. They're constantly trying to improve their nuttery. That's the only thing they evolve. They evolve backwards. Backwards. Things are always showing displays of aggression. Non-stop. This surfaced about 4 hours ago. Another police officer had to kill a dog after the dog escaped from a home unprovoked as always. Where are these scenarios where dogs attack in response to being harassed? You never see them. You never see them. Look, I challenged you experts, behaviorists, and I'm going to use, see, this is what's so sad about it. I challenge these professionals, and the only thing I'm going to use is the actual reports that are available. It's sad that they don't look over these reports themselves, look over the actual attacks, the details of the attacks, and simply change their rules, change their philosophy. That's the whole point of education. If you discover something that's wrong or false, you change it. They don't do that with Dog Nuttery. They constantly regurgitate the same rhetoric over and over, despite the fact that none of the reports coincide with the rhetoric. Dogs are never provoked into an attack. The only thing that, if they escape, they're going to attack someone. That's the first thing they do, is look for somebody to attack. Which tells you what? They're inside the house. They can't wait to get outside the house to attack someone. Bloodthirsty beasts. Officers responded to a report of a dog running loose in the city around 11 a.m. Department said Police found the dog. It returned to its residence. An officer went to talk to the resident of the home. Obviously, right, quite naturally, why'd you have your mutt running around here all through the neighborhood? What's your problem? But when they opened the door, the dog jumped out of the door and attacked the officer. Y'all telling me that this is acceptable, that this is something that's supposed to happen among civilized people? That they walk up to your door and they're attacked? They're being stabbed? It's acceptable because I'm on your property? Even if it's a child, well, a child's on your property? That's a law that begs to be changed. That sounds like something from the 1800s, early 1800s. This is some wild, wild west type of laws that people have who are uncivilized, who are nasty and uneducated and uncivilized. That is where this type of rhetoric and thinking, legislation comes from. You'll even find yourself, these one bite laws, they are from like the 1800s. They are grossly outdated. Have y'all noticed that? How many of y'all knew that? Who fails to update their information in over 100 years? The one bite law is from the late 1800s. Look it up. And all of this, it fits right in. This is primitive, uncivilized, backwards, lower level, dog level living culture. It's disgusting, it's dangerous, it's immoral, it's satanic. Get rid of it. We are not a nation of devils. But that's exactly the type of culture this is. This is a culture of devils. You should reject this lifestyle. You should keep children's safety as priority number one over all else. Over dogs, over any other animal that poses a threat. And dogs exclusively, only dogs, kill and mutilate kids, which makes dogs then the number one enemy and predators of kids. They're the only ones willing to attack a baby. There's no excuse for having something like that in society. Last thing you do is pretend that it's a 2-year-old child. Sleep with it as soon as you adopt it. You don't dog sit. Now, I covered this on a live stream. A lot of people are talking about it. But just for the people who are wondering, I did already cover this on a live stream. And I'm following the story. And it's interesting that no photos, at least that I'm aware of, have surfaced of this young lady. But her face was totally mutilated. She lost both ears, she lost her nose, and she lost her lips. Anything that could absolutely dismember a human being like this, it has no place. I don't want to hear nothing about no training. It has no place in a home with a family. Do not try to have no discussion, all you experts, you dog nut experts. I challenge y'all. Listen, I want y'all's head as far as a debate. Okay, don't mean that literally. And I want you to have as many degrees and credentials as possible. And I want to debate you. I want to debate you. I'm not going to interrupt you. I'm going to let you speak. You want to do it in written form? Go ahead and write it out. But you have no argument. You have no argument whatsoever. This is insanity, this lifestyle. This woman basically has no face. What do you look like with no ears, no nose, and no lips? We saw Brooklyn Curry. She was only missing a lip, a top lip. Can you imagine what this woman looks like? Y'all remember, this is the woman who her sister said she walked into the home with nothing but love in her heart for those dogs. Okay? I don't have love for anything that's capable of ripping my face off. And if it decides to do so, there's a good chance that it's going to happen. But if I'm a 5-year-old child, I know it's going to happen. I know there's nothing I can do to stop it. There's nothing a child can do. And y'all are willing to have these scenarios play out in real life? Unbelievable. You know how terrified, I can't even imagine being a kid. And I can remember as far back as being 5 years old. So I have a clear memory back when I was 7, 8, 9, clear memory. Can you imagine how traumatized that would have left you to get mutilated by a dog at that age? There's nothing you can do. The dog's basically just as tall as you, far more powerful. And these things go straight for kids' throats. Which one of you experts, dog scientists, behaviorists want to argue that these things have a place in society, are acceptable in society? So sad. This is so sad, man. Man, oh man, I got to take a break. I got to take a break from this nuttery. Shout out to Voltron512 in the super chat. Wow, people, this is draining. This type of nuttery is draining. And then they have the nerve to do stuff like this. This is a video on YouTube. It's titled, "This little girl was in huge danger, but her hero dog did this." So the baby was saved, allegedly was saved by a dog. And they make articles like this, videos like this. They do it to take your attention away from the fact that only dogs attack babies. This is a baby right here. Nothing else. Our babies don't get attacked by deer. Nothing. Just dogs. They want to take your attention away from that. And when you see a dog, they want you to see a protector of children. Plus, with the way dogs look, it's very manipulative. But I still can't understand how people actually fall for it. To the point where you'll be like this lady who slept in the bed with a pit bull that she adopted that same day. Are you out of your mind? Out of your mind. Yet another individual who was attacked yesterday, surfaced January 29th, received treatment in the hospital, dog attack. 2 loose dogs gained entry into a caravan and attacked another dog. And during the incident, she was attacked. See, this is another thing. Other dogs are likely to set another dog off. The number of triggers is ridiculous. And that's a strong trigger, seeing another dog. Then what do you have? Possible redirected aggression. Basically, the dog is so violent and in such a rage that it'll just attack anything that gets close to it. Once it attacks a victim, Anything else that gets close gets attacked too. Talk about out of control. No composure. How is this a creature that has evolved alongside humans? And we got nuttery like this in the world. Shout out to everybody. ABQ Girl, Ruth, everybody who sent me content in the emails. I'm still going over them, doing my homework. Community gathers to honor courthouse service mutt. Can you imagine? We've seen it before. They're out there with candles in a gathering for a mutt. This guy picked up a confused 16-year-old dog from the shelter so he wouldn't die alone. So that the dog wouldn't die alone. That's why he got this dog. Sounds sexual to me. All this sounds sexual, satanic, nasty, and weird. It's unbelievable. Now I want to show y'all something else. Some people sent me some crazy videos. Man, I have content to last a lifetime. Be honest with you. This nuttery, this rabbit hole is bottomless. Oh no, video unavailable. Okay, must have removed it. Must have removed it. Hey, what is this? What is this? Sorry about that.
It was a freak out scene across America.
It's disgusting to have an animal inside of a public restaurant.
Ciara Miller
To have an animal
across America.
It's disgusting to have an animal inside of a public restaurant.
Ciara Miller went nuts when she saw a service dog in a restaurant where she was eating dinner. The dog belonged to an Army vet who suffers from PTSD.
He's alive because he fought for our country. Congratulations! My husband dad fought for the country. So did he. That's why he has a dog. So what? It's still nasty to me.
Miller was widely slammed for being insensitive. But today, in an Inside Edition exclusive, she's defending herself.
I don't have any regrets because I felt like I reacted based on how I was treated.
Ciara Miller says the video doesn't tell the whole story. She claims that some restaurant employees and customers were yelling at her, and that's why she got so loud.
6 or 7 other people would just start jumping in and just start going back and forth and coming at me, making derogatory statements, racial slurs.
Let's be honest, I mean, this is a service dog that you're complaining about, and so it just doesn't look good on you.
This wasn't ever even about the dog.
Did y'all hear what he said? Can y'all see this? He said, what's going on here? Can y'all see this? Y'all can't see this. Oh, Lord. Y'all have to see this. I'm sorry. We're going to have to watch this again, people, because this is crazy. This is crazy. Here, let me do this. Already, almost 1.5 million views.
It's disgusting to have an animal inside of a public restaurant.
Ciara Miller went nuts when she saw a service dog in a restaurant where she was eating dinner. The dog belonged to an Army vet who suffers from PTSD.
He's alive because he fought for our country. Congratulations! My husband dad fought for the country. So did he. That's why he has a dog. So what? It's still
Miller was widely slammed for being insensitive, but today, in an Inside Edition exclusive, she's defending herself.
I don't have any regrets because I felt like I reacted based on how I was treated.
Ciara Miller says the video doesn't tell the whole story. She claims that some restaurant employees and customers were yelling at her, and that's why she got so loud.
6 or 7 other people just start jumping in and just start going back and forth and coming at me, making derogatory statements, racial slurs.
Let's be honest, I mean, this is a service dog that you're complaining about, and so it just doesn't look good on you.
That right there. That right there. Hey, this is a service dog, so it doesn't look good on you to complain about that dog being inside of a restaurant. No. No. I don't care if you put a vest on a mutt. I don't care what you put, lipstick, whatever. I don't care what you call it. It's still nasty. It's still disgusting. It still contaminates the atmosphere. Dogs are such a Look, if dogs are such a contaminant to the atmosphere that they contaminate the air outside, what do you think they do to the inside, to an enclosed area? Imagine how many more times worse it is when you are inside a room, a restaurant, and you want to bring them into a restaurant where people are eating, drinking. Dogs are such a contaminant to the atmosphere. People, they said they found traces of dog excrement in the air. In the air. In the urban cities. So yeah, no, it does not look bad on her. No, it looks bad on society. That someone would have to be pushed to this level. This actually sounds like a woman who would otherwise have a civilized character, behavior. She sounds like a secretary or something. Don't sound like no, ghetto hood rat. Not at all. She was just pushed to that point where she was just angry. This is where many of us are going to find ourselves, where we just can't take it no more. We've seen one too many dogs in a store, in a restaurant, and one day we just lose it. This is what's going to happen. You're going to see more of this. You're going to see more cases like this where people are going to erupt on these dog nuts. And you can see during the time when she was yelling and screaming, look at how guilty the dog nuts look.
6 or 7 other people just start jumping in and just start going back and forth and coming at me, making derogatory statements, racial slurs.
Let's be honest, I mean, this is a service dog that you're complaining about, and so it just doesn't look good on you.
This wasn't ever even about the dog per se or the veteran himself. You know, when his wife approached me, she made it about that. You know, I was simply walking out the door because I couldn't eat in front of an animal.
It doesn't sound like you're very understanding of this service dog and the needs that this vet has.
That's 100% incorrect. As I have an uncle that was in the military who suffered from PTSD, so I'm very aware of, service dogs and their position and what their rights and what they're allowed.
The veteran is retired.
Wow. Y'all see the man, the journalist. You see his narrative. You're not understanding about this man and his PTSD. These people don't need to bring dogs into restaurants. I don't want to hear nothing about no service mutt, no PTSD, nothing. They do it for attention. These are narcissists, disgusting people. They have no sense of hygiene whatsoever. They don't care how nasty dogs are. They love the nastiness and all of that. Look at these. Look at this.
Nuts when she's
the guilt, these guys just look guilty to me. Like, yeah, like, oh no, she's bringing attention to our nastiness. Once you put these people on the spot and call these people out, now, maybe she went overboard, maybe not. But she got their attention. She got their attention. And whether she went overboard or not, whether any of us go overboard or not, we might get pushed to a point where we come out of character. And that's what's going to change society. This is where the energy is going. Somebody pointed out in the email. This is where the energy is going. They made a good point. They said wherever energy goes, that's what becomes reality or something like that. This is definitely where the energy is going. Calling out this nasty, disgusting. You want to bring a dog inside a restaurant. Unbelievable. This was uploaded 2017. 2017. So before the outbreak. But it was behavior like this. It was a culture like this of having these dogs in all of our spaces, living quarters. That is what brought about these current outbreaks. And that is what brought about most outbreaks, even according to the CDC and everybody, that most of the new diseases that emerge in humans come from animals. Which animal do humans have most contact with? Which animal is the dirtiest, the nastiest? Undeniably, it is dogs. All right, we got to stop playing games. These people are a danger to society.
Dozens of dog-friendly restaurants and businesses here in Music City, and one of them, or most of them at least, requires dogs to be on the patios unless they're service dogs. However, not everyone's
following the rules out there. News 4's Edward Birch live at Fido on 21st Avenue for us tonight. Edward, explain this loophole that many dog lovers are taking advantage of.
Well, Tracy, according to the American Disabilities Act, restaurants can only ask if your dog is a service dog and if it performs a task. People don't have to prove that their dog is a service dog, and they can bring them right inside.
I definitely look at it like parking in a handicapped spot. This is something we deal with daily here.
At Fido in Nashville, Dagan Cruz says federal law prevents pet-friendly establishments for asking for proof that a dog is a service dog. Dogs for emotional needs do not count as service animals according to the American Disabilities Act. However, anyone can say their dog is a service dog.
A non-service animal can come in and disrupt the job that that dog is intended to do for the
Well, Tracy, according to the American Disabilities Act, restaurants can only ask if your dog is a service dog and if it performs a task. People don't have to prove that their dog is a service dog.
Laura Kisman says her life was turned upside down when she was mauled by her neighbor's 2 Rottweilers back in December. She says the attack lasted nearly 10 minutes, and now she and her husband are suing the dog's owners, accusing them of failing to take proper precautions to control the dogs.
Very quickly, I knew I was in a lot of trouble.
Laura Kisman says her daily routine of going for a run in her St. Charles neighborhood turned into a nightmare when she was attacked by her neighbor's 2 Rottweilers.
The first thing I thought of was my family and my kids. I have 4 kids.
Kisman says she was out for her run when she stopped to help her neighbor capture one dog that was on the loose. That's when she says that neighbor's other 2 dogs, the Rottweilers, started biting her. An attack, she says, lasted nearly 10 minutes. Kisman and the neighbor tried unsuccessfully to fight off the dogs. It was another neighbor passing by who saw the attack, grabbed a gun, and shot and killed one of the dogs. The other dog was scared.
Oh, Lord. I think I was on mute, but I was just pointing out how you heard what he said, that you don't have to prove that your dog is a service dog. All you got to do is buy a service vest. I'm pretty sure y'all figured out this is what I was talking about. All you got to do is buy a service vest. I don't have to prove that they call that a loophole. That's not a loophole. That's a deliberate fixed into the law where they can bring these things into any and everywhere they want. You can only ask if it's a service dog and if it performs a task. So you walk around with a dog with a vest on, all you got to do is say yes and yes. And you can bring it in the restaurants, bring it in anywhere, grocery stores. These the dogs you see with vests on in public places, they don't have to prove that it's an actual service dog. And even if it was, it's unacceptable to be there. But it just shows you that the laws are created by dog nuts. Don't say this a loophole as if you didn't know that that's what people would do. They simply buy a vest. Here you sell vests everywhere. Simply buy a vest and take the dog anywhere they want. And you know they do this to try to provoke a lawsuit or something. Well, you can't ask me if you ask me to prove, or if you reject, tell me the dog can't come in here, then I'll sue. People don't want that type of press. This is ridiculous. So this is where this dog nuttery is headed. This is where we're at. And these people are ramping it up. They're catching on to these types of weak laws. I can't even say that they come from the 1800s. They fit right into the type of laws that comes from the late 1800s, early 1800s. These stupid one bite laws. These things are so outdated. You telling me all you got to do, these dog nuts got to do, is buy a vest and put it on this worthless mutt? That's why we hear about these service dogs attacking people. Y'all remember a story just surfaced not long ago where somebody was attacked. I talked about it on an airplane after he had secured himself in the seat with a seatbelt. Dog attacked his face. Had a service vest on. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So this nuttery is completely out of hand. It's out of control, people. And it's going to hit the fan. You see how that woman reacted. How she reacted to that dog being in the restaurant. That's going to become more and more popular. More and more popular. Because people are going to wake up. They're going to run across this information. And you know, most people have not dealt with this information. How nasty dogs are. How contaminating dogs are. Contaminating dogs are. You know, how they're so toxic to the air we breathe that they contaminate air outside. People are going to run across this information and they're not going to tolerate. As soon as they see a dog in a restaurant, public place, they're going to cause a scene. Now, whether you think they're overreacting or not, that's what's going to happen. And they're going to do it. They're not going to try to do it. Not going to think about it. They're just going to be pushed to that point. It'll be an accumulation of scenarios where a mutt was in a store or in some public place, and nobody's dealing with the facts surrounding these dogs. Nobody's dealing with exactly how nasty and filthy and disgusting and toxic they are. Everybody's ignoring it. No, we're going to pump this information out to the public. Now this, I don't even know what this is or why I saved it. So let's find out.
Union County man is accused of lighting a dog on fire. Deputies say Antonio Gant is charged with ill treatment of animals.
The incident happened earlier this month at his home on Mill Avenue, we're told. According to a warrant, Gant doused a dog with flammable liquid and lit the animal on fire. We are still working to learn the dog's condition. We will keep you updated as we learn more.
Wow. So another freak situation where someone set a dog on fire. Now we see this all the time. People will set a dog on fire. They'll find a dog that has been shot, a dog that has been beaten and left for dead. You can't just say that all of these people are sickos who get off on harming dogs. You know, that's just a portion. That's just a portion of the population. A portion of the dogs were attacked by someone who simply got off on seeing the dog in pain. But there are others. It's even been proven in reports. I've reported them here. Confessions from people who said, yeah, I shot it or whatever because it attacked my daughter. It attacked my son. Some of these people are reacting to a dog that has mutilated their kid. They don't all make reports. Dog attacked them. Dog attacked their child, ripped their child's face in half. A lot of these people go temporarily insane. And they're full of rage, just like that dog goes into a rage. And they handle it themselves. Because they know all you dog nuts going to do. You're going to show up, take the dog, and put it in a shelter and adopt it out to somebody else. Put it in a no-kill shelter. Those no-kill shelters specialize in killing kids. They're passionate about killing kids and babies. Those no-kill shelters. Really all shelters, but especially those no-kill shelters. They're in the business of killing babies and children.
May find these details disturbing. A Union County man is facing charges for torturing an animal. Now, that dog severely burned, but is now recovering. 7 News' Alessandra Young has the details in a story you'll see only on 7.
The Union County Sheriff's Office arrested Antonio Gant this past Wednesday. They say he took a can of gasoline, poured it on his dog, and then set him on fire. Luckily, the dog is expected to make a full recovery.
Say hey, Miller. Come on.
This is Miller. He was burned severely on New Year's Day. He has months of healing ahead of him.
He still holds up a back leg because there's so much burn underneath his stomach.
Miller suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns all over his body.
He has some on the side, and a lot was on one side and underneath, and his ears. I think he was probably rolling around in the grass, which caused the fire to get his ears.
Ashley Hamilton runs a rescue group. She's taking care of Miller now.
At first it was hard. I think he has some.
Shut up. I want to hear about that man. I want to know about the man's mental condition. Does he need help? Does he need help? Is he angry about something? Has he been traumatized? I want to know his condition because he's going to actually contribute to society. Okay? You want to worry about the dog? That's on you. I want to know about the individual who did this and why they did it. See, this is what we need to talk about. Why people out of nowhere attack dogs. And they do it all the time. And these are all dog lovers, dog owners. Why do these people, I've talked about this before, why do they just here and there, you find a dog they're beating the hell out. They're always beating their dogs. That's the norm. Sometimes they kill them. They conceal these dog attacks and kill these dogs or leave them for dead. Why? These are the most praised creatures in society. It is because it's all rhetoric. It's all rhetoric. Humans are incompatible with dogs. We're going against our nature by embracing their existence, treating them like human babies. And every now and then, humans revert back to their natural instinct. The natural instinct for humans is to be as far away from dogs as possible. As possible. These things are nothing but death and disease, infections, mutilations. And these people continue to put out misinformation and make excuses for these things attacking. And this got to go. This has got to go. These people got to go. They are leading the youth into witchcraft, satanic blood sacrifices, child blood sacrificial cult. That's what it is. That's how it operates. That's how it functions. This is not some, happy dog, happy family, happy life culture. These people are constantly trying to come up with new ways to prevent dogs from attacking. Even their dog trainers fail. You have reports from doctors who explain to us that pit bulls cause more damage. And then the journalists will say that opinions differ. Sources differ on whether or not pit bull bites are more dangerous. And they refuse to cite this superior source. Okay, and don't even mention the reports from the actual doctors. This nuttery is like we're being set up. Like it's like chess. And they're putting their pieces in position. We're going to look up one day, we're going to be unprepared. Dogs, you know what's going to happen. It's just going to be another, I don't even want to say the word, outbreak. There's going to be a serious outbreak. One that you can't recover from. That doctors don't know about. Doctors know there's a lot of diseases, infections that they don't even know about. Like I said, 3 to 5 pop up every year. Brand new ones pop up every year. So this pattern is going to continue until something very serious breaks out. Now remember, the Black Death was not that long ago. A couple hundred years, that's nothing. A pandemic could pop up every 200-300 years. That's normal. And we just going to sit around and wait for the next one. Look at how hard this one has impacted our life. I still have to wear masks at work. I don't like doing that. But I do understand that these dog nuts are contaminated. I understand that fully. And they do need to put something in front of their face. More than anything, they need to leave this nasty lifestyle in the past. Stop living like dogs. Stop living life like dogs. Stop living in a doghouse. Stop exchanging parasites or contracting parasites from these mutants and snap out of it. You know, it's going to take something serious to change these people. That's the scary part. The educational system can't do it. Can't do it. This is also a story that surfaced a couple days ago, where I think this is in India. A recent attack on a 5-year-old boy left residents terrified and agitated. Like I said, these things terrorize communities. Why? Look at all these stories, these type of stories that surface every single day. People scared to come outside the home. People scared to talk about dog lovers. They want you to put the camera on their feet. And you look at how these things actually function in the world, they gotta go. The boy was playing with his friends and brothers when a group of stray dogs attacked him. Totally unprovoked, as always. And they want to tell us about better dog management. What was that? Yeah. Effective dog management strategies for worthless mutants like this. These stories are plentiful. This one, another one, surfaced 2 days ago. These stories are plentiful. Just use your filter. And this is only a portion of the actual attacks. As somebody else pointed out, as I pointed out many times, most dog attacks are not reported. I've quoted that statistic that only 1 out of 3 to 4 get reported. So 1/3 to 1/4 actually gets reported. So you can imagine how rampant this truly is. This is what makes us sick. This is where our diseases come from. This is where these crazy outbreaks come from. Dogs are vacuum cleaners. They go sweep out the excrement and urine of all other animals, lick it up, and they go back and lick the humans. Humans go around licking other humans. This is nasty. Nasty. And these people need to snap out of it. Big shout out to everybody who joined this stream. I feel a lot better getting this off my chest. Unbelievably nasty. Big shout out to True Baby, BB, maximum supporter, member of the channel. Big shout out to everybody who up 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning listening to me babble. K9 Critic, ban all dogs. Stay safe out there, people. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay dog free as we continue with this crusade against these worthless mutants and their enabling owners.